Perfect.
Thank you to everyone who just texted me that you can see us.
Yes, we are having a little bit of technical difficulties on our side, but we're glad that it's coming through on your side.
Looks like we're ready to start.
Perfect.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the Players in Progress's first virtual show. We are your directors for this evening. I'm Emily Lewis.
And I'm Jinsey Britt.
Welcome to Alabaster-White and the Seven Witches.
Since this is a virtual show, we've already showcased one of our first and hopefully only technical difficulties. So thank you guys for being patient with us through that. But we just wanted to point out a couple of things. First of all of our actors are remote, so they're going to be zooming in. So you'll see their little boxes on the screen. Also, we will be using virtual backgrounds when we can, but not all of our actors are going to be able to use that. If there are any other technical difficulties, which we've prepared, and we hope that there aren't, but if there are, we would really appreciate it if you would be patient with us and if you would bear with us.
We will have a 5-minute intermission between Acts 1 and 2. And if you want to live tweet with us, use the hashtag Alabaster-White, one word, and at us at Theater Pip. That's THEATRE, Pip, P-I-P.
All right, thank you all so much for joining in, and we hope you enjoy the show.
So, first things first, we are in the castle of a long-ago kingdom whose name is not all that important to this particular fairy tale, so you really don't need to worry about it. Anyway, it's in here somewhere if you really want to know it. The point isn't the kingdom. The point is the people in it. Now, our story revolves mostly around that gentleman right there, Prince Alabaster-White. Alabaster here, aside from being heir to the throne, is somewhat famous for his bronze appearance. When the princess mother was pregnant, she wished that her son would be the handsomest in all the land, with skin as white as snow, and hair as black as night, and lips as red as... Okay, I feel weird talking about this guy's lips. This is awkward enough already. Let's just say he was really handsome and move on. Alabaster-White, prettiest boy in the kingdom, but subject to the whims of his crazy stepdad.
Alabaster!
Right on cue. That's the king. At least until Alabaster becomes eligible to take the throne, which won't be until he's 21, or married, whichever comes first. That's why his stepfather is keeping him hidden away in the castle. What with him being so unbelievably good-looking, the king's afraid someone will want him for husband, and then he'll get the crown 3 years early. See, not being born into the monarchy, Alabaster's stepfather doesn't have any claim to rule on his own. He's only holding the position since Alabaster's mother died. The only way he gets to keep the crown is if he marries back into the royal blood. Or if there's no one else to take it, if there is no heir. I think you can guess who the villain's going to be.
Alabaster, we have a very important guest arriving today. Get ready.
I am ready, sir.
With your hair like that.
What's wrong with it?
Now, no, go to your own chambers to fix it, and straighten your jacket. Quickly now, go!
This is where I come in.
Mirror, mirror.
This mirror is magical. It always tells the truth, whatever question is asked. And of course, there are only so many all-knowing beings in the world. So, yes, sire?
Mirror, mirror on the wall, will I be king once and for all?
As I have said before, your stepson will one day take his throne.
But my plan, if I wed this princess, I can keep the crown. Surely that changes things.
I would not be so certain.
Ugh. Mirror, mirror, as you see, will this princess marry me?
Well, the short answer is no.
Ah! Ah!
Who's the messenger? It isn't my fault.
Mirror, mirror, help me decide. What must I do to win my bride?
The princess will never be yours as long as she could instead choose Alabaster.
And if I'm to remain king, I must keep her away from the boy. I see. Begone, mirror.
This isn't going to end well.
I must find a new plan, then.
In case you've missed it, the king only gets to remain king permanently if he's married to someone else with royal blood. Someone like the princess who will soon be visiting the castle.
Is this better? Oh, well, now where's he gone? I didn't see what was wrong with it before. Enter.
Dun 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 dun! Presenting Princess Kaylee of the Northern Kingdom. Now here's where the story gets fun.
Princess Kaylee, it's an honor.
Hello. They were not exaggerating when they said fairest in the land.
Pardon?
You must be the prince. Thank you for welcoming me to your kingdom.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Princess. Do you not have an escort with you? Surely you didn't travel all the way here alone.
They were moving a bit slow for me, so I rode ahead.
A dangerous choice for a lady of your stature.
I can take care of myself.
I'm sure you can, Princess.
Besides, I was anxious to meet you. Prince Alabaster is famous even in my kingdom.
Is that right?
Is it true you were named for a statue?
Afraid so. My mother saw a statue in the gardens made of white alabaster, draped in black velvet, red roses and all. She wished to have a child of just those colors, or so the story goes. And here I am, pale as a ghost, raven hair, and all the rest. Everyone's heard the story.
All the rest being lips like a rose. And I bet she wished for eyes like the blue sky as well.
I don't know about all that, but when I was born, she declared her wish come true and named me Alabaster-White after the statue.
An interesting name.
Interesting is what you call something when you mean strange.
No, it's true. It's just Alabaster-White is so formal. What do people call you when you're not being the prince?
Just Alabaster, usually.
Oh, well, just Alabaster suits you.
Thank you. And what about you? What do they call you when you aren't being the princess?
Oh, I'm always the princess. But you could call me Kay if the inclination struck you.
As you wish. I'm sorry the king isn't here to welcome you as well. I don't know where he's gone, but he was greatly looking forward to your arrival. He'll be here shortly, I'm sure.
No apology necessary. Not as long as I have you for company.
Spoken like a diplomat. Your tutors must love you.
Oh no, I'm a terrible trial. I'm always bringing weapons into the library and asking too many impudent questions.
Like what?
What was the statue of?
What?
The statue that you were named for? What was it of?
You know, I don't know. I never thought to ask anyone. Probably an angel. There's half a dozen angel statues in the castle garden.
You have a castle garden.
Nothing special. Just a flower garden, rose bushes and all that.
Gardens don't grow well in my kingdom. Too cold.
Too far north.
Right. Timber forests and vegetable gardens, sure, but nothing so romantic as flowers.
Would you like a tour of the garden, Princess Kay?
I'd love one, Alabaster.
Right this way.
Princess Kaylee. She is here because her parents want to form an alliance with this kingdom. Typical political and economical reasons and all that. Kaylee was the firstborn, but the laws of her kingdom say that the crown must pass to the oldest son. So, only her younger brother will get the throne. Monarchies are weird. Kaylee never cared much for that rule, seeing as how she spent the first 10 years of her life as an only child and in training for leadership. So, she's now looking to make herself a queen somewhere else. Hence, she's here to find herself a husband. The king, as you know, is hoping to woo her. But she has other plans. You'll find that Princess Kaylee very often has plans of her own.
I can just find the right spell and cast it before the princess arrives. Then I can keep her from falling from the boy.
Did I mention that the king dabbles in the dark arts? A man has to have something to do in his free time, right?
Something to hide him for a few days, or to make him unappealing, unattractive. And she'll choose me instead. We'll get married, and just like that, king for life. Couldn't go wrong. This one will do. Sour's first impressions. I just have to cast on Alabaster before Princess Kaylee gets here.
That was a wonderful story, Princess Kay.
Alabaster! And the princess, I assume.
Your Majesty, I'd like to present Princess Kaylee of the Northern Kingdoms.
I'm so pleased to meet you, Your Majesty.
Likewise, Princess. I am only sorry I wasn't here when you arrived. We expected your delegation later in the day.
Oh, I dare say the delegation will be quite a bit later, but there's no need to apologize. Prince Alabaster-White has been very hospitable.
Yes, I'm sure he has. Where have you children been off to?
I was giving her a tour of our garden. The plant life here is so different than that in her kingdom.
It is, and I was quite taken with the statues. Alabaster really is lovely.
So glad you think so. While you're here, I'll make it a point to personally show you the castle's gallery. There's some stunning sculptures and paintings there.
I don't mind showing her, if you're too busy with diplomatic matters, sire.
Yes, I'd hate for you to go to any trouble, Your Majesty.
No trouble at all, I assure you. I would love the opportunity. I could take you tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact.
Well then, how could I say no? I'm sure the king wouldn't mind if you wanted to come also, Alabaster, if you're available. Are you available?
I'm entirely at your disposal, as long as you're here, Princess.
Well, splendid. Alabaster, would you please go check in the kitchen about arrangements for the princess's arrival dinner? See that everything's still going smoothly?
Of course, Your Majesty. Excuse me, Princess.
The prince is quite charming.
Yes, well, my stepson is noted for his manners,
So I've
among
heard.
other things.
So I've heard. We aren't so far north that we haven't heard of Alabaster-White.
Is that so? Now, Princess, I'm sure you're tired from your journey. Please, let me show you to our guest chamber so you can rest before dinner.
Thank you.
Over the next week, the king would continue his quest to win over the princess's hand, and it would go about as well as it did just then. I don't know if you could call it love at first sight exactly, but Kaylee decided to marry Alabaster the moment she saw him, whether he liked it or not. Fortunately, the young prince was just as smitten. They spent the next week touring the palace, the garden, the capital city, pretty much anywhere they could pretend to be interested in the sights rather than each other.
No.
Needless to say, the king was not pleased, and he was getting more annoyed by the moment.
We have to get ready for dinner.
On Alabaster, there's still enough time to see the sunset over the lake.
There are more noblemen coming to meet.
I'm sick of noblemen. Let's just you and I get away for a little while.
Hey, we'll get in trouble if we're late.
I'm so very glad the two of you managed to return to the castle for the evening.
Forgive us, Your Majesty. We didn't realize how late it was getting.
Alabaster, please go to your chambers and get ready for our dinner guests. You look a mess. I would ask you to remember that you are a representative of this kingdom and of its crown for all who visit this castle.
Yes, sir, but
You should be ashamed to allow a regent from another kingdom to see you as you are now, and to have her hauled all around the city for half the week like she was some common country girl.
Sire, I never thought of Princess...
I told you to go to your chambers, Alabaster-White.
Yes, sire. Excuse me, Princess.
I'm sorry you had to see that, Princess Kaylee.
Not nearly as sorry as I am. I do not care to see Alabaster-White spoken to like this, especially when he has done nothing wrong or disgraceful towards me.
You are kind to say so, but it was not appropriate for him to drag you about
I
all
can
over
assure you,
the
Your
kingdom.
Majesty, no one ever drags me anywhere. If anything, I've been forcing Alabaster to take me out and show me your city. His city, which he is so proud of. And I can assure you that he has in no way behaved disrespectfully towards me.
I'm certain you feel that way.
Kindly do not interrupt me. And do not presume to tell me how I feel. If I felt in the slightest way that Alabaster was mistreating me, or if I was not pleased with his actions, I would not tolerate his presence.
I apologize. I do not mean to imply that you could not judge the prince's behavior for yourself, or that you could not handle it if you found him lacking.
I accept your apology. However, I believe you should also apologize to me for trying to use me as leverage in your attempts to shame Alabaster, and for airing your family business in front of a guest in the first place.
Of course. My deepest apologies.
I accept your apology. Now excuse me. I must prepare myself for dinner.
With all the hopes for his own marriage to Princess Kaylee dashed, and Alabaster's wedding appearing imminent, the king was running out of time and patience. Not that he had much to begin with. He was getting desperate, and desperation is never a good sign for the villain.
The boy has turned her against me. There's no guessing what he's told her about me, what he's made up. The princess will never be mine this way. But I'll fix that. I'm going to be rid of that boy for good, whatever it takes. And when Alabaster disappears on her, she'll realize that his perfect little prince act has been false the entire time. She'll see he doesn't care about her. And that little power-hungry upstart princess will turn to me instead to win herself a throne. And even if she doesn't, at least I'll be rid of the boy. And when he is gone, I will be the only one left to take the crown.
To be honest, this is one of the less eloquent villainous monologues I've heard. But I have to give him points for directness.
A page! Send me a page!
Yes, Your Majesty, you called.
Send at once for my most skilled hunter. Have him come here immediately, and instruct the guards at the entrances to this room to allow no one else in.
Of course, Your Majesty. Right away, Your Majesty. Anything you say, Your Majesty. I really do not get paid enough for this.
Your Majesty, I'm at your service.
Yes, yes. Thank you. But please come back later. I have important business to conduct, and I cannot be disturbed.
Did you not send for a hunter?
Are you telling me that the best hunter in my guard is a girl?
A woman, yes.
Well, when did we even start letting women in? Since when do women even hunt?
You know, it should not surprise me that an evil, mentally unbalanced guy is also sexist. But I can't help being a little amazed at the amount of this brazen misogyny and the fact that he's in charge of a whole country.
You asked for the best huntsman in our ranks, and I am by far the best. I have proven myself time and time again, and I assure you I can do whatever it is you ask of me, Your Majesty.
No, I really don't think this is a job for a female. It involves the prince, and I believe you'd be distracted by him.
All due respect, my king, but your son's not really my type.
What, the richest and handsomest man in the land isn't your type?
I don't really have a type.
What?
Prince Alabaster-White will not distract me from my duties. What is it I'm to do? Does he need a guard? Give me orders, and I will carry them out.
No, quite the opposite, really. I want you to kill him.
What?
Tomorrow I will send the prince out with you. You will take him to the forest, kill him, and return his heart to me as proof of your deed.
You want me to kill your son and cut out his heart?
Stepson, we're not close.
My prince and heir to the kingdom's throne?
If you do not do as I have asked, and keep your mouth shut about it, woman, I will have you killed as well and find a proper huntsman to do what you don't have the stomach for.
Oh no, don't misunderstand me, Your Majesty. I only wanted to make sure I understood your meaning. You may trust me to do as you have asked. I am always at the disposal of my king.
Excellent. You are dismissed. Report back to me here at 10 in the morning. Sharp.
Yes, Your Majesty.
We'll see who gets the girl now, won't we?
Well, that got dark rather quickly.
Alabaster, a word.
Yes, Your Majesty.
I'm afraid I was harsh with you earlier. You must forgive me. I have a lot on my mind as of late with the princess's stay and our constant flow of visitors in addition to the usual headaches of rulership.
I understand, sire. Please know that it was not my intention to harm our kingdom's reputation.
Yes, I know. And I forget sometimes what it's like to be young. Young and in love.
I don't know that I would call it love.
You should enjoy your youth and freedom while you still can, Alabaster. It isn't so very long before it will be over.
Yes. I know it will be my turn to rule soon. Perhaps sooner than we thought.
I wouldn't be so certain. One never knows what will happen. Don't get your hopes up.
I only meant, sire, that it was...
Oh, never mind. Don't trouble yourself about that now. I had some news for you. I've asked one of the hunters to take you into the forest to hunt tomorrow. The young prince should get out of doors more often, participate in such things. It builds character, helps to make you a man.
Perhaps, but we have a guest. I should entertain Princess Kay.
Don't worry about Princess Kaylee. I have arranged other amusements for her, that she may acquaint herself with others of our kingdom. We hope it to be her home one day after all, don't we? Yes, I know. In any case, you'll leave directly after breakfast, so be prepared. Now, I must be off to finish arrangements for the evening's dinner guests. Among other things. Why don't you go to the Great Hall to ensure you can greet them as they arrive?
Of course, Your Majesty.
Oh, Alabaster, it's you. Where's the king?
He left to attend to some preparations for the evening.
I'm sorry I got you into trouble with him.
Don't worry. He's not really angry with me. I just spoke to him, and he apologized. You mustn't judge the king too harshly if he loses his temper sometimes. He never signed up to be ruler of a king alone, or rule the kingdom alone. And I think the responsibility weighs on him now that my mother is gone. He probably can't wait for me to inherit the crown so he can have some peace again.
I said he was pretty. I did not say he was smart.
If you say so. I'm glad it hasn't upset you, and that you're not upset with me for being the cause.
I couldn't be upset with you.
Oh, I'm sure you could if you tried. I have absolute confidence in you.
Terribly misplaced, really.
Will you still take me out tomorrow? You said we might go see the docks. I've never spent any time at the ocean.
No, I'm sorry. The king wants me to go out hunting with one of his men tomorrow. I don't know when I'll be back.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I would much rather go with you. Much rather do just about anything. But I think it means a lot to him, and I have been neglecting my duties.
All right, Alabaster, I understand.
Thank you. And I'll make it up to you as soon as I return. We can watch the sunset, maybe.
I won't be pulling you away from your important princely duties. I would hate to do that.
Well, you are a bit of a distraction.
Look at the pot calling the kettle black.
It's true.
But it's not fair. You're much more of a distraction than I am. You're prettier.
Now that I do not agree with at all.
Which of us is known as the fairest in the land?
That just means I'm paler than you are.
And that means it's easier to make you blush. Like you are now?
That's a low blow, Princess Kay.
But I like it. You're cute when you blush.
Only when I blush?
And conceited as well. You are a distraction, though. Right now, you're distracting me from going to meet the endless parade of nobles waiting to welcome me.
Shall we?
Cut to the next morning. Once Alabaster finally managed to extricate himself from the breakfast table, and more specifically, the Princess Kaylee, he met the huntress and was promptly escorted out of the castle with barely a word. You may have noticed she's not really a big conversationalist, so the whole time she was leading him through the forest, she wouldn't talk to him. That would be unnerving for anyone, so Alabaster was getting freaked out long before she finally answered one of his questions a couple of hours into the trek.
So, do you usually go out this far into the forest to hunt? It seems impractical. Like, do you really want to haul a bunch of deer all the way back from here?
I want to get far away from the castle.
I guess that makes sense.
All right. I suppose this is far enough. Let's stop here.
Here. Will the animals even come this close to the path?
No, but I wasn't sent today to kill animals.
So this was just supposed to be some sort of nature hike or something.
I was sent to kill you, Your Highness.
I'm sorry. What?
Wait, listen.
Get away from me.
Hush. I'm not going to hurt you, but you have to listen to me. I brought you all the way out here so I could warn you.
Who sent you to kill me?
The king.
The king of this kingdom?
Yes, your stepfather. He wants me to cut out your heart.
She is also not great at tact.
That's not possible. He would never. I mean, he wouldn't do that. Why would he do that?
My guess would be that you're the only thing standing between him and the crown. At least until after you're 21.
I don't believe you.
What reason do I have to lie?
I don't know. Just let me think.
Thinking. That'll be a new thing for him. Oops. Sorry. That wasn't supposed to be out loud.
Look, you need to trust me. I'm trying to help.
I just don't know how to deal with this right now.
You can have your personal crisis later. There isn't time for that now. You need to leave. It isn't safe in the castle, in the capital at all, really. As soon as the king knows you're alive, he'll send someone else after you.
What am I supposed to do? I've never been outside the city. I don't know anyone, and I don't have anywhere to go.
Look, there in the northern mountains, See the highest peak? Go towards the space between it and the peak to the left. You can follow this path most of the way. Right in the middle of the two mountains in the foothills is a cottage. You'll find help there.
Those foothills are uninhabited. They're too dangerous for anyone to travel up.
That's the middle. You'll be fine.
What if I can't find the cottage?
Don't worry, it'll find you.
Am I just supposed to stay there forever?
I'll meet you there as soon as I can figure something out. Right now, I need to return to the king and make sure he believes you're dead.
Then I can wait here until you get back. We'll go together. It'll be much safer.
My prince, it's too dangerous. You have to get as far away as you can, as quickly as you can.
Wait. Princess Kaylee. She's there at the castle. I can't leave her alone with the king if he's a murderer. Who wants to cut people's hearts out?
I will warn her to leave if I can.
No, she won't listen. She needs to hear the story I have to tell her. She's too stubborn to back down otherwise.
Alabaster-White, if you go back to that castle, you will die. And there will be nothing I can do to stop it. I will warn the princess, I promise, but you cannot go back.
Swear it.
I swear to you. I will tell the princess that you have said she needs to leave. I will find a way to tell her.
Right. Just please make sure she understands. She can't stay there.
I will. Now please, go. There's only so many hours of daylight left.
Thank you for not killing me and everything.
I'm a hunter, not a killer.
Thanks.
So, Alabaster set out on his own in the forest, and the huntress began the trip back to the castle. Along the way, she killed a deer and to take his heart to give to the king in place of Alabaster's. When she did arrive at the castle, the huntress went straight to the throne room in the hopes of being done with the king quickly so she could continue with her other plans. Instead, she was lucky enough to find someone else in the castle.
Where's the king?
Still at dinner. I excused myself early. Are you the same hunter that went with the prince today?
Are you Princess Kaylee?
Yes, and I asked you a question.
I am. It isn't safe here. The king is dangerous. You should return to your kingdom.
What are you talking about?
I can't say more. I promised the prince I would warn you. Leave the castle.
I won't. Do you know where the prince is now? Why did he not return with you?
I will not say more. You must go home.
Princess, I thought you left to rest in your chambers.
I felt better after a while. I was just returning to dinner.
It's over, I'm afraid.
Oh, what a pity.
Pity indeed. I must ask you to leave us again. I have some business matters to discuss with this fine lady. In private.
Of course. I'll return to my chambers for the evening. I'll see you and Prince Alabaster for breakfast tomorrow.
I look forward to it.
Princess, I hope my advice proves useful to you. Please remember it.
I'll certainly keep it in mind. Thank you.
What was that? What did you tell her?
The princess merely saw my daggers, and as I came in, and I asked how I maintained them. You know, girl talk.
Have you done as I asked?
Of course. Exactly as you have asked, your majesty.
Ooh. Did he, did he give you any trouble?
It was done before he knew what was happening. He is delicate.
Was delicate. Good. You are dismissed. And remember to keep your mouth shut, Huntswoman.
Of course, your majesty.
The huntress went immediately back to her barracks, grabbed her few personal belongings, and then immediately disappeared into the forest to make her own circuitous way to the cottage, where she'd sent Alabaster. The king, not surprisingly, wanted immediately to confirm that Alabaster was in fact dead. Evil masterminds, believe it or not, aren't particularly trusting people.
Mirror, mirror.
Yes, Your Highness? What can I do for you?
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Will I be king for once and all?
That is still a no, Your Majesty.
But Alabaster is dead! Alabaster-White is dead.
I would not be so certain.
Of course he's dead. The hunters kill him. I have his heart in a bag. Well, then where did this heart come from?
All questions must be phrased.
Mirror, mirror, don't be smart. Where did the huntress get this heart?
A heart, by the look at it.
Okay, I didn't ask what it was. I asked where it came from.
No. A heart. H-A-R-T. It's kind of dear. That's a heart's heart.
Didn't I say not to get smart?
Sorry.
So, mirror, mirror, don't be dense. Where exactly is the prince?
He's in the forest traveling towards a small cottage near the northern mountains. The exact location is not clear. The place is shielded by magic.
Well, if he never returns, I can still say he's dead. Alabaster's a coward. He'll never come back. Not if he thinks I could kill him.
Was there a question in there?
Mirror, mirror, help me learn. Will the prince ever return?
Yes.
Then I cannot keep him alive. Begone, mirror.
This is not going to end well.
Well, if you want something done right, I guess you have to do it yourself.
And so the king left to come up with the perfect plan to get rid of Alabaster. He would work on it long into the night, trying to discover a way to track the prince through the forest, and how best to actually kill him. In the meantime, Kaylee returned to the throne room, hoping to find answers about her prince, clues to the huntsman's cryptic warning.
Just a mirror.
I love this part.
Mirror.
Yes, how can I be of assistance?
What?
Hey, careful with that thing. 7 years bad luck and all that.
Explain yourself.
Well, obviously, I'm a magic mirror.
What?
A magic mirror, an all-knowing, truth-seeking, enchanted reflection device.
Do you belong to the king? Do you know what happened to the prince?
Firstly, no. I am a sentient being, and I don't belong to anyone, and I really resent the idea.
Sorry.
Secondly, I'm afraid I can't answer your questions unless you ask them properly.
You answered the one about belonging to the king.
That was different. It didn't count as a question. That was a conversation.
So let's have a conversation about where Alabaster-White is.
It doesn't work like that.
So how does it work?
I'm not really supposed to give that information out.
You know that 7 years bad luck thing that you mentioned?
Yes.
I don't believe in luck. Start talking.
All questions must be framed in the form of a couplet.
So it has to rhyme?
Also, they're supposed to start with mirror, mirror, and in iambic meter, but, I mean, whatever.
Mirror, mirror, if it's all right, where is Alabaster-White?
Hey, That's pretty good for a first
Answer the
try.
question.
He's on his way to the cottage in the foothills of the northern mountains, deep in the forest.
Why? I mean, mirror, mirror, guy, can you tell me why?
Well, in a nutshell, the king wanted to marry you so he could keep the crown, but he sent the huntress to cut out the prince's heart.
Oh my god!
But the huntress sent him to the cottage where he'd be safe.
So he's alright.
For now.
What do you mean for now?
Cutlet?
Mirror, mirror, is he in danger? Tell me now, you stranger.
The king knows Alabaster is still alive, and obviously he still wants him dead. He's not going to give up easily.
I have to save him. I'll take him back to my kingdom and we can figure something out. I'll have an army to protect him. An army to depose the king and reinstate Alabaster as the true ruler. Our parents are allies. They'll ensure his safety.
That's probably a good idea.
Mirror, mirror, don't make me tense. Tell me how to find my prince.
Go into the forest and then go east. You'll find a path and follow it north. Once you come to the fork, you'll just have to search. I'm afraid I can't tell you more than that.
Aren't you supposed to be all-knowing?
The witches who live in the cottage have shielded it by magic. It's not my fault.
Witches? He's with witches?
Yes?
Never mind, there isn't time to come up with another rhyme.
There was one.
Do you have an off switch or something?
You can't just ask me to leave.
All right. Thank you for your assistance. You may leave, mirror.
Good luck, princess.
I'll find you, Allie. Don't worry.
So the princess immediately took her leave of the castle and went into the woods, pausing only to retrieve her horse from the stables. Kaylee didn't even bother to tell the rest of her delegation that she was going to gather her things. She assumed they'd manage without her, and she had bigger problems to tackle. In the meantime, Alabaster-White had been traveling towards the mysterious cottage. He'd had approximately 3 emotional breakdowns by then and had gotten completely lost a couple of times. In his defense, he was sleep-deprived on top of everything else he was trying to deal with, and it was dark. In any case, the young prince eventually arrived at the cottage early the next morning.
Hello? Hello? Please, is anyone there? Hello?
Unfortunately for him, by the time he arrived, the inhabitants of the cottage had already left about their day's business.
Hello? Is anyone home? Please let me in. I've been traveling for almost 2 days and I haven't slept and I haven't eaten and my father wants to cut my heart out and he's probably already on his way to track me down and I don't know what to do.
Fortunately, door locking technology was not quite up to our current standards, so Alabaster was able to break in rather easily.
Hello? The door just, opened. I'm sorry. Is anyone here? I was told I would find help here. Hello? Oh, what am I supposed to do? I hope the Huntsleigh comes soon. I'm going to have some of this, if that's okay. Thanks.
Kind of pathetic, isn't he? Though, I suppose at this point he doesn't really have anything to lose. And it's pretty much exactly that line of reasoning that Alabaster's working off of right now.
I'm going to rest for a while now. If I can find a bed. Or 7. Who has 7 beds? This isn't even that big of a cottage.
It's actually bigger on the inside.
Okay. I'm going to lay down now. I'm just gonna pick out one of these beds and lie down for a bit.
Like, does he think it makes it less illegal if he narrates everything out loud? If so, my life is about to get much more interesting. And he's not doing a very good job of it, I might add. He should leave that to the professionals. So, Alabaster fell into the bed and then immediately to sleep. He remained there undisturbed for a few hours before the cottage's owners returned. How they reacted to the stranger within their home, however, will have to wait. Some of us are rather parched, and it is time for intermission. For all of you, Alabaster's story will resume in 5 minutes.
All right, just like the narrator said, we're now going to have our 5-minute intermission.
Now is a great time to grab some concessions from your own kitchen.
See you in 5.
everyone.
Welcome back.
That is our 5-minute intermission over. So we are starting our show back up. We hope you enjoy Act 2.
All right, settle in. We're starting back up. I know the suspense is killing you. So, let's see where we left off. The king had just discovered the huntswoman's deceptions. Princess Kaylee had set out to rescue her damsel. I'm not trying to be funny. Damsel was originally a term for any young person of noble birth. It didn't become gendered until, like, the Great Depression. Boys can be damsels too. The more you know. As I was saying, Princess Kaylee went after her damsel in distress. And Alabaster had found the cottage, but not the assistance he'd been promised. His help wasn't far away, however, as the owners of the cottage would soon return and find something amiss in their home.
Did we not pull this door too?
No, I was the last one out. I specifically shut it.
One of the others probably just got back before us and forgot to close the door.
Probably Willow.
She'd forget her head if it wasn't attached.
Be nice. We're back.
But something isn't right. The chair is pulled out and... Guys, I've got a funny feeling.
Oh, I hate when you get feelings.
Yeah.
If one of the others are back already, where are they?
Probably in the bedroom. Calm down, you two. You're being ridiculous.
Hi, sorry I couldn't get the handle. My hands are full. What's wrong with you? You look like you've seen a ghost and not one of the good kinds.
Thor thinks someone's been in the house.
I didn't say that for sure.
Well, where are the others? Maybe it was one of them.
That's what I said.
It doesn't feel like the others.
They have overactive imaginations is all, Willow. There's someone in there! Some strange man!
What is he doing?
What do we do?
Why do ridiculously good-looking men never end up in my bed?
Willow, get out of there! He might be dangerous!
I'm a witch. I think I can handle him. And frankly, I'd like to.
Willow! We need to make a plan.
What are we planning?
There's an intruder in the bedroom.
Why do handsome men never end up in my bed?
Saying that.
He is in my bed, and personally, I'm not thrilled.
Well, obviously you wouldn't be.
Can we focus on getting him out of Cypress's bed?
Maybe we should just put him in Rowan's.
Not fair!
Okay, so introductions. Since they're going to be arguing like this for quite a bit. Laurel and Sorrel, they're the easiest. Willow, Cypress, Rowan, and Alder, Ash. No, that's the wrong story. Some tree with an A name. Never can remember. Aspen. Aspen. So, Aspen, Rowan, Cypress, Laurel, Willow, and Sorrel. I know what you're thinking. The program says Alabaster-White and the 7 witches, and this is only 6. Be patient. We're already skipping the argument to the good part.
All right, everyone, Juan's out. Now, Rowan and Cypress are going to grab him, and Aspen and I will...
Excuse me. I know that I'm in your house, and I slept in your bed, and I ate some of your food, and I think I may have knocked over a lamp or something in there, because it's really dark, but I'm really sorry, and I can just leave if you want me to. Okay. Well, you see, I was wandering the forest for like 2 days and I was lost and it was terrifying. And I hadn't eaten or slept or anything, and someone was probably on their way to kill me. But I finally found your cottage and no one was here and the door was unlocked and it just kind of fell in and I really wasn't thinking straight. I'm really, really sorry. So just please don't hurt me.
All right. No one's going to hurt you right now. Who are you?
Oh, thank God. I'm Alabaster-White.
The prince?
Are you single?
Willow, he is a guest or a thief or something. And anyway, he's too young for you. You too, Rowan.
I wasn't going to ask. Besides, he's got bigger problems than his love life right now.
Calm down, everyone. We're making him uncomfortable.
Oh, I'd hate to make the man who broke into our home uncomfortable.
All of you. So, you're Prince Alabaster-White.
Yes, ma'am.
And why are you here?
I was told that I would find help here. A place to stay.
Who told you that? And knew how to find us?
A woman who works as a hunter for the castle. Now that I think about it, I never asked for her name.
And you're a prince. Why would you come here for help?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but
So make it short.
He's in some kind of trouble, aren't you? You're running away?
I suppose you could say that.
Then what are you running from?
The king. My stepfather wants to kill me so he can keep the crown and possibly my kind of fiance.
How do you have a kind of fiance?
Oh, never mind all of that. I still want to know about the woman who sent you here. What did she tell you about us?
Nothing, really. The king had sent her to kill me, but she warned me instead. She told me to travel here and that I would find a house with people who would help me until I figured out what to do next.
All right, so you don't know her name or how she knew how to send you here.
I'd never met her before, and she was in such a hurry to get me away from the capital.
We can figure all that out later. Right now, Alabaster-White needs to get some food in him and rest up to recover. We will help you, and we will do our best to protect you as long as you're here.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Grateful I am. I swear I won't be any trouble. I can work for my food, and I'll sleep on the floor.
Hey, we don't mind sharing.
There's literally a spare bed.
I really feel like this is not the best idea. I mean, just at all. I just...
Sorry. You know how families are.
Please, just let me stay for a little bit. You'll hardly know I'm here. I'll be quiet and stay out of everyone's way, and the woman said she'd follow me here soon, and then I'm sure she'll have a plan and I can leave.
Well, we'll see about all that. For now, let's just get you properly recuperated and settled. Cypress can show you the extra bed so you can get some rest, and when you wake up, we'll get a good meal in you and you'll feel much better.
Thank you so much.
It's our pleasure.
You're so generous, and I don't even know all your names.
My bad. My name is Willow.
Laurel.
Yes, and it's Sorrel for me. It's lovely to meet you, Prince Alabaster-White.
Just Alabaster is fine.
Well, then, just Alabaster. I'm Rowan.
Rowan. Sorry.
And it's Cypress for me.
My name's
Don't worry. You'll figure out who's who quicker than you think.
There sure are a lot of you. Did you say you're related?
Siblings.
Unfortunately.
Wow.
Also, we're witches. We should probably just go ahead and get that out there.
What?
After you get some rest, we'll talk at dinner. Last bed on the left, I'll show you. Sleep first, explanations later. Come on, go on. Go on.
I...
Well, Sorrel, still have a bad feeling?
Yes. I think there's something big coming. Things are going to change.
Great.
The 6 witches would have a long family meeting while Alabaster slept and Cypress refused to let anyone help with dinner. No one was entirely sure what to make of Alabaster or how they got there, but they all agreed he seemed both harmless and a little pathetic. So it was decided that they would look after him for the time being, Sorrel's premonitions withstanding. Without a plan, though, the next morning was pretty much business as usual for the witches, and most of them left for their daily work around the forest.
So, where does everyone go all day? It was empty when I got here yesterday, too.
Different places. Everyone has their own job. Usually gathering food, tending to gardens, going to market, things like that.
But not the two of you.
Things being are what they are with the king, we thought someone should stay with you.
Oh.
Also, Sorrel thinks there might be trouble today, and Sorrel is usually right.
Trouble?
But we are staying here with you, so there isn't any trouble. We can take care of whatever comes our way.
Right, and there are plenty of things that needed to be done around here, so we've been putting it off, and I don't think you're inconveniencing us or anything.
Right, lots of work to do, and we can get to know each other a little while we do it. So tell us about that kind of fiancé.
Well, I may have overstepped saying it was kind of, but
I'm really just curious. I was only teasing you yesterday. Alabaster, Laurel's right. You're way too young for me.
you don't look much older than me. I'm only 18.
Oh, well then she's old enough to be your great.
A witch can be whatever age she likes as long as she's powerful enough and clever enough.
So how old are you?
A lady never tells, and a gentleman never asks.
Sorry, I was only wondering. Aspen, how old are you?
About 20 years older than Willow.
Anyways, Alabaster, you're dodging the question. Tell us about your fiancé and why she, he, or they is just a kind of.
She's a princess from one of the northern kingdoms. Princess Kaylee. And no one has proposed to anyone else or anything, but we're both royalty, and she wants to get married to her prince because she wants to be queen one day like she was raised to be. And I really like her, and she seems to like me, and we definitely talked about marriage, so betrothal seems likely.
Royal courtship sounds complicated.
Kind of. I mean, she basically came to this kingdom to meet me and see if we'd hit it off.
And did you?
Well, we seemed to be, until I was forced to flee for my life, and hope my stepdad didn't decide to kill her too.
You must be really worried about her.
I know she can probably take care of herself. Better than I can anyway. But I just don't want her getting hurt because of me. And I can't really do anything from here.
Well, don't think about it then. Worrying is a waste of energy and we have work to do.
If you can use magic, why do you bother working?
Well, we can't just do everything with magic.
We've tried. It's boring and exhausting.
I guess that makes sense.
I would have thought you'd known that growing up with the king.
What about him?
Well, everyone knows he's a dark magician.
What?
Oh, does not everyone know?
I
doubt he's gone public with the mastery of the dark arts, Will. They're kind of frowned upon.
Right.
Wait. If he's a wizard or whatever it's called, why didn't he just kill me instead of sending the hunter to do it?
Outright killing? That's a whole other level of dark magic. No going back after that.
And it's not easy. He might just not have enough power.
Well, I guess that's good.
Just means he has to get creative. If he's desperate enough, no telling what he might come up with.
Well, that's a comforting thought.
Aspen, don't frighten him. Alabaster, don't worry. We'll keep you safe here. He can't find you.
I found this place.
Well, you had directions.
And somehow so did whoever sent him here. Someone in the king's employ.
Someone on Alabaster's side.
Oh, please don't stop talking in our account.
Hi. Cypress?
That's right. Told you it wouldn't take long.
Why are all of you so grim?
Aspen's being negative.
I'm being realistic.
You're scaring Alabaster.
I'm trying to warn him.
You're telling him.
Please don't argue. We have a guest.
They weren't bothering me.
It's fine. It's over.
Did you finish with your chores today?
We did. And it didn't take as long as we thought it would. You missed the June.
Wait, what?
What?
Cypress? Our little juniper berry. You're home.
Yes, and you too, Laurel. Alabaster-White, you made it.
Did you warn Kaylee? Did she leave?
Do you two know each other?
I warned her, but I had to leave. I don't know what she did.
What's going on?
Where have you been?
Just a minute, everyone. Your Highness, I think the king may be...
Juniper.
Sorry, I don't think we were ever formally introduced. I'm Prince Alabaster-White, but you can call me Alabaster.
I'm Juniper.
It's an honor to meet you, Juniper. And I wanted to thank you for saving my life.
I'm very glad you made it here safely.
And I'm happy you got here.
June, I'm happy you made it back too. We all are.
Wait. You're the one who sent Alabaster here?
I didn't know what else to do.
You made the right choice.
What took you so long to follow me?
I took the long way around to be sure I wasn't followed.
How do we know this isn't some trick of the king's?
Aspen!
They do have a point.
Same old Penny. I'm a bit rusty. You wouldn't want me trying anything.
You know I hate being called Penny, Junebug.
Welcome home, Juniper.
I meant to keep in touch.
It doesn't matter now.
Come on, let's go find the others and tell them. They're going to be so excited you're home.
No! I don't think it's safe. We should all be staying here. That's what I was trying to say, Alabaster. I think the king may suspect you're alive. And if he's as powerful as I think he is, he's already on his way to find you.
Then we need to get Sorrel and Rowan back here.
Well, I don't know where they were going today. They said they'd be late.
Then we're going out to find them.
It'd be faster if you helped you.
I don't think we should leave him alone. I'll stay here.
Alabaster isn't a child, June. I think he'll be able to manage on his own for a little while.
We should get everyone back as fast as we can.
You are the best tracker, Juniper.
All right. You'll be fine on your own, Alabaster?
Sure. I'll stay right here, and, you guys can go get the others.
Let's go and get them back then. Send out sparks if you find them.
Didn't see that coming, did you? Secret identity and all. Talk about a lot to take in, right? I'll give you a moment. And then we're moving on, because there's still a lot to cover. Sadly, none of them knew just how right Juniper was. The king, of course, knew that Alabaster was still alive, knew that he was in hiding, and knew that he was not far from the cottage. He disguised himself as an old peddler and cast a spell so he wouldn't be recognized, even by the boy who'd known him for over a decade. And with the witches away, Alabaster was on his own, against him.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Hello.
Laurel? Oh, hi.
Hi, hello. Thank you, sir. Didn't think I'd ever find any help in these woods.
I'm sorry, you must have the wrong cottage. It's,
I don't know how anyone finds their way in this forest. Trying to cut a bend in the path. Next thing I know, I'm wandering around the forest for half a day. No sign of the road, of civilization, or another human soul. I'm glad I happened along your place here, I am.
Well, you know, it's,
Yeah, thank you kindly, Lev. Let me take a stop to catch my breath and rest my bones before I head back out there. I'd appreciate if you could pull me back towards town as well.
oh, well, it's basically just straight south from here. I mean, it's really hard.
Oh, good. I'm a merchant, you see. Used to be a tailor, but the eyes just aren't up to it anymore. Now I just sell other people's clothes. That's life, eh? Here, take a look. Craftsmanship, don't you think?
Very nice, but I'm afraid it's not really a good time for visitors.
Oh, here's one of mine. I made this vest a long time ago for a young man who never had the chance to wear it. Looks to be about your size. Why don't you try it on? It would suit you well.
Not really interested in buying right now, but thank you.
Come now, you are an old man. Let me see the product of my craft on a happy, handsome young man, please.
I suppose.
Yes, fits like a glove.
It's very nice.
Yes. Button it up, just like that.
Oh, it's a little tight right in the chest.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll button it up all the way. No, it's too tight. I can't breathe. Take it off. Take it off. It won't.
You never did have any sense in you, Alabaster. One of your many annoying qualities.
The king left the cottage, taking care not to be seen by any of the witches, and still searching the woods. He hurried back to the castle, confident that he'd been successful and there'd be no more chance of anyone to challenge him for the throne. Now, this being a fairy tale, there are no small number of coincidences, so it was mere moments later that the huntress, or should I say Juniper, returned with one of her wayward siblings.
Alabaster! Alabaster!
He's not breathing. Oh, I think it's the best. It won't come off.
Well, then we'll cut it off. Laurel, some help here, please?
Yeah. We might be too late. Laurel's better at healing magic. Come on.
Lost Laurel's signal. What's wrong? Alabaster, are you all right?
I think so.
There was some enchanted vest. It was strangling him.
This has definitely been magically tampered with. And purposefully to kill. This is not some sizing charm gone wrong.
Was it the king?
I don't know.
Who else would it be?
Don't push him right now. He needs to recover.
Willow's right. Let's get him into bed.
Oh.
Oh,
I think something's broken.
I think you've bruised or cracked some ribs. Let's lay you down and take a look. Big stop.
He just
is
needs
new.
rest now.
Can't believe we let this happen.
It won't happen again.
No, it won't. We're not gonna let it. We're not leaving him alone again.
Juniper, we're all upset, but you can't
told
blame.
him he would be safe here. I'm the one who brought him here. He's my responsibility, and I almost got him killed.
We're sorry. You were right. Someone should have stayed here. We shouldn't have made you leave, but it won't happen again.
Thanks, Aspen.
So we need to keep him in the house from now on, and someone always stays with him, even for just a moment.
Agree. As a matter of fact, I think I'll go sit with him a while, just to make sure that there aren't any lingering effects.
Laurel's frightened.
So am I. No one should have been able to find him here so easily. Even with magic, this place is too well protected. The king knew where we were, and he'll be back again if he figures out Alabaster isn't dead.
So what do we do? Take him somewhere else?
No place is going to be safer than here. The king found Alabaster here. He can find him anywhere. So it's better to stay where we're familiar.
And what if that's not enough?
So, while the witches tried to figure out a way to keep their young charge safe, his would-be murderer returned to the castle, more confident that his plan had succeeded. After all, Alabaster seemed pretty well dead when the king left him, and without some strong magic to pull him back from the brink, the prince wouldn't have survived. So, the king knew it was time to begin the next phase of his scheme.
Page! I need a page immediately.
Yes, your majesty?
Have these burned.
Of course, your majesty. Anything else, your majesty?
Send me a herald.
Right away, your majesty. You called for a herald.
The entire castle guard is to be dispatched immediately. Prince Alabaster-White has gone missing, and I'm very concerned for his safety. He was last seen this morning going out for a walk in the gardens, but he has disappeared from there. The search to find him is to be of top priority.
Oh, yes. They shall be sent out at once. Thank you, sire.
And send the page back.
You have got to be kidding me. Yes, my king.
Have Princess Kaylee sent here.
And now, because the king had been so wrapped up in his plans for regicide, he was completely unaware of what was going on in his own castle. Poor Wilbur had to be the one to explain to him that Kaylee's been gone for 2 days, and nearly her whole delegation has left on the assumption that the princess went back home. Because, quite frankly, that seems like something she'd do.
I said to have the princess sent here.
Yes, your majesty. Princess Kaylee has been gone for 2 days. Her delegation says that she seemed to have returned to her kingdom and that they've been gone since yesterday.
What?
She's gone, your majesty. And they're saying she probably had a fight with the prince. She decided she wouldn't marry him. Maybe she was looking for someone older?
Get out.
Do you need anything else, your majesty?
Get out! Gone. She's gone. That disloyal little... Mirror, mirror.
Yes, your majesty?
Mirror, mirror, don't lead me on. Where has the princess gone?
into the forest towards the northern mountains.
Mirror, mirror, why does she roam? Has the princess gone back home?
No, she seeks a cottage within the forest of the kingdom.
She's gone after Alabaster. He got word to her. Well, she's too late. Mirror, mirror, tell me true. Just what will the princess do?
Eventually find Alabaster, take him back to her kingdom so her parents can help her. What was it again? Oh, yes! Overthrow you.
No. Alabaster died. Mirror, mirror, I will not be misled. Is Prince Alabaster-White dead?
No, he was saved, and the princess will find him. It's only a matter of time as she searches.
What is keeping that boy alive? He should be dead twice over by now. That was a rhetorical question. You can go.
If he had any common sense, he'd just ask how to kill him. But that's a megalomaniac for you. Always think they know best, always refusing to take advice from the experts. Pity having
Now
such
the girl knows. Now the girl knows. That's bad enough without him being alive for her to save. Now I have to deal with both of them. One problem at a time. The boy. And this time, I'll make sure he stays dead.
So the king retreated again to his library to figure out a more foolproof plan. He had chosen for the moment to ignore the problem of Princess Kaylee. That was, of course, a mistake. The princess still had a big part to play in foiling his schemes. She was in the forest and hot on her prince's trail, with no intention of giving up, magically hidden cottage or not. For the moment, however, let's return to the root of all of their concerns, Alabaster.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you feeling better?
Yes, thank you. Has everyone else gone out?
They wanted to stock up on a few things so we could lay low for a while.
They'll be getting back soon, don't worry.
Oh, good.
June, you've been up on watch all night. Go get some sleep now that he's alive, awake, and out of your bed.
Oh, was I? A spare bed after 7. Of course. I'm so sorry, June.
It's fine. I would have stayed up anyways to watch the house.
And now you need sleep. Go on.
Let me go make the bed up, at least.
Don't let him out of the house. And you don't leave the house either.
I won't. He'll be fine. Get some rest. Who knows when you actually slept last? Not since before you sent him here in the first place, right?
Something like that.
All right. Sorry again, Juniper. I didn't mean to keep you from sleeping.
Don't worry about it. Now I'm just gonna go lay down for a couple of hours. Be careful.
I will.
Don't worry about her. She's always been tough.
I'll sleep out here tonight, or something.
Worry about all that later. Now let's get you some breakfast. You haven't had a hot meal on time in days.
I don't want to be any trouble.
No, we had oatmeal earlier. We'll just heat some back up, huh? Let me go get some more wood from around back. Yell if you need anything, and don't open the door for anyone, all right?
All right. Thank you. Now let's see.
Unknown to the cottage's inhabitants, the king was just outside their door, again listening with magic. When Rowan left the cottage, and the king heard Alabaster go into the other room, both gone for only a moment, he slipped in to leave a deadly surprise.
Where did those come from?
I think Sorrel brought them in yesterday. Didn't she? From the orchard.
Oh, I guess so. There was so much going on yesterday, I guess I just didn't notice.
They look delicious. Early in season, too.
Have one if you want.
I love apples.
Alabaster! Juniper!
What happened?
I don't know. He just collapsed. Signal the others.
What's wrong with him?
He's not breathing. He doesn't have a pulse, but I don't know what could have happened.
How could you not know?
I was right here. He just collapsed mid-sentence.
Where did these come from?
I think Sorrel brought them in yesterday.
Sorrel brought in hazelnuts yesterday.
Oh no.
Ugh! Cursed. Cursed for instant death.
No. I told him to have one. I didn't know. I didn't think they wouldn't be safe. How did these get here?
It doesn't matter anymore.
But it can't have just...
It doesn't matter. It's over.
What? No.
Oh my God.
No, Alabaster, no.
Laurel, it's too late. Laurel! Laurel, stop! We can't fix him. All the stupid magic in the world won't heal him. He was cursed with instant death. We couldn't protect him, and we couldn't save him, and he's gone. So leave him alone. He's had enough of magic.
We're not the only one who cared about him.
Could the two of you please not fight right now?
For once.
All right, what do we do now?
Let's get him out of here. We need to bury him or something.
I can't do this right now.
There must be something that we can do.
Finally!
Oh, please, no. It's the princess.
His fiancée, Kaylee.
Yes.
Hello? I'm looking for someone. Please open up. I can hear people in there.
We can't let her see him like this.
Princess.
Hunter, I knew this had to be it. Where's Alabaster? Alabaster?
Princess Kaylee, you don't really want to go in there right now.
What's wrong? Where is he? Is he gone?
My dear, we're very sorry, but...
Where is he? I came all this way searching for him. I need to take him to my kingdom where he'll be safe.
It's too late, Princess.
No.
Your Highness, why don't you come with me?
No! This is a trick. You're hiding him from me. But I don't want to hurt him. I'm trying to save him. Where is he? Ask him. He'll tell you. Alabaster! I didn't get here in time. I was too slow. I didn't save him. I'm so sorry, Alabaster. I tried so hard. As soon as I heard, I tried to get here so I could take you home, or you'll be safe. And I didn't. Allie, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We were going to get married. I love you. I love you so much. I tried, Allie.
Kaylee? Kaylee, what's wrong?
I let you die.
Kaylee.
Alabaster!
Kaylee, I kind of broke a couple ribs yesterday.
You kind of died a couple of minutes ago, so I don't care.
Wait, what?
Princess, Why don't you let him get up so we can stop and figure this out, all right? We don't want to traumatize him.
I think that ship has already sailed.
The witches and Kaylee filled Alabaster in on what he had missed while he'd been, well, dead. Well, at the very least, he was at a state indistinguishable from death. The witches had not been wrong. The king did indeed curse him with instant death that couldn't be cured with medicine or any common magic. Alabaster hadn't been breathing, his heart had stopped beating. For all intents and purposes, he was D-E-A-D dead. But the king had forgotten the most important rule of a fairy tale's curse. They can always be broken by true love's kiss. And he had allowed Alabaster's true love to continue searching for him unchecked. Without Princess Kaylee on hand to wake him up, Alabaster would have stayed dead. The witches tried to explain this fact of magic to the young nobles, but Kaylee had other things on her mind.
Ellie, we don't have any time to waste. The king isn't going to stop now. We have to get you to my kingdom where you'll be safe.
That's an excellent idea. He'll have a harder time reaching you there.
All right. That makes sense. How soon can we leave?
Tomorrow at the earliest. He's been dead. There may be side effects, and he needs rest.
Early tomorrow, then.
It gives us time to prepare a few things.
If we leave early, we can be at my kingdom by nightfall. At the castle in 2 days at the most.
The road will be dangerous. We should come too, to protect you.
Well, we have to.
I don't know. That many people traveling all together, it might attract attention.
We know how to keep ourselves in.
That's fine then. And, oh, Alabaster, could I ask you an impudent question?
You've never abstained before.
Would you marry me?
I would love to, Princess Kay.
Perfect. You could get me the ring later.
You can have my mother's ring if we ever get back to the castle.
It'll have to be before then. We have to get married quickly so we can get your stepfather off the throne.
That's right. Once Alabaster is married, the king forfeits the crown, and he can be thrown in jail as easily as anyone else.
Or executed. I mean, just a thought, with all that attempted murder and all.
Fine with me, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now, all of you are witches, right?
Yes. How did you know that?
And how did you find me anyway?
The king's magic mirror.
That would explain a few things.
Wait, the king has a what?
Never mind, I'll explain to you later. I was saying that if all of you are witches, couldn't you help to defeat the king if he shows up?
Maybe. He's very powerful.
Dark magic is difficult to fight with more magic.
Combat magic isn't our specialty.
The best we can do may be to dampen his powers.
Ooh, and protective wards. I could watch for the king.
There will be ample time for plans later. Right now, I think the two of you need rest and nourishment. Everyone else can start packing.
She's told me I need sleep and food at least once a day since I got here.
You've almost died at least once a day since you got here.
I knew you were secretly adventurous, defying death and all.
Sure, this has all been non-stop fun.
Can I ask just one more impertinent question?
Of course.
How did you break your ribs? Tell me everything.
Where to begin?
Kaylee's plan to leave with Alabaster and get him to her own kingdom and safe in her family's castle went beautifully. Once Alabaster and Kaylee arrived at the castle, everything was explained and the wedding was set for 1 week later. In all that time, the king had, of course, gone back to his own castle and the false hunt for the missing prince. He couldn't help but feel something wasn't right, though, and consulted his mirror once again, only to find that the prince still lived. No one seemed to know much about it, but they did know for certain he was alive. It came as no surprise then when Princess Kaylee's impending marriage reached him. No one seemed to know much about who she was wed to or why it was happening so suddenly, though there were more than a few rumors flying around. The king, though, knew instantly that they had planned the hasty marriage to force him from power, and so he set off for the northern kingdom. Naturally, he would not reach Kaylee's castle until the day of the wedding, at the very last possible moment that he might be able to save himself by killing Alabaster.
I just feel as though the king would have done something by now. He has to know I'm alive.
Maybe he knows he's beat and went into hiding before you can have him arrested.
Maybe. I wish I could talk to Kaylee about it.
It's bad luck for the groom to see the bride on the wedding day.
Kay doesn't believe in luck.
Yes, but Sorrel's keeping her away just in case.
Very sensible.
Is she still getting, what'd she call it, a bad feeling?
Sorrel's had a bad feeling since you showed up.
Well, she wasn't wrong.
Just me. The princess is still under Willow's care. Alabaster, I really don't think the king would come here. It would be far too dangerous for him. You should relax for a little while. It's your wedding day.
At the very least, be nervous about getting married.
Why would I be worried about getting married? It's true love, conquered death and everything.
Don't get too excited there, Alabaster.
Does it bother anybody else
Alabaster,
how he is about death?
The point is that you're going to be fine. The castle guards are looking out for the king in case he does decide to show up, and we're all going to be there. So try to enjoy today. It's only going to happen once.
You're right. And I know you're right. I just worry.
Go get Rowan and Cypress to help you with that mess of hair.
People always say that. What's wrong with my hair?
What's wrong? I can tell you're lying.
Sorrel thinks the king is here, maybe in the castle already. She senses the dark magic getting closer.
How could he have gotten past all the guards, though?
A spell or a disguise or anything.
Why did you lie to Alabaster?
Why worry him anymore? It might be nothing. Sorrel's been on edge for days.
But Sorrel's never wrong. What are we going to do?
Kaylee thinks they should be married immediately, alone without all the nobles or the visitors, so they won't attract the king's attention. He'll think he still has a couple of hours. Then they can lock themselves up in a tower or something until the danger passes and have the guards arrest him on sight.
So that's the plan?
As soon as we can get the priest here. Her parents gave the blessing to go on without them.
And we're not telling Alabaster?
Well, Kaylee wanted to tell him.
Ah, that's my cue. This is highly unusual. Highly unusual.
Yes, sir. Well, this is a highly unusual circumstance that we're dealing with. We really do appreciate you getting here early, though. My sister will fill you in right away. I have to go check on the groom.
Laurel, you have this covered. I'm going to go with Alabaster.
Thank you. Both of you, thanks so much. So, you've heard we're moving the wedding up.
Yes, I have. I certainly have. What I have not heard is why.
Well, that's all rather complicated, but it mostly boils down to the fact that someone wants to kill the groom and we want to get the happy couple married and into hiding as quickly as possible. So if,
I see. Yes, I see. Well, what are we waiting for there? Let's get them married.
Oh, I agree. I'll fetch them.
I
have what you need?
I have everything I need right here. Everything I need.
Excellent. Excuse me.
Did I mention I'm also ordained? I'm a woman of many talents. Kaylee actually had an excellent plan in moving the wedding up. If the king arrived while he was still held rulership of Alabaster's kingdom, he might legally have been able to stop the wedding, or worse. And it would have been difficult to retaliate against him while he still held control of his armies.
Isn't the wedding later? What's the priest doing here?
I'll go get the others.
Are you all going to do the thing where you ignore me until I figure it out on my own?
Of course not.
Thank you.
Kaylee's going to explain.
Don't worry.
Wow. And they call me the fairest in the land.
Do you trust me?
Of course.
Sorrel says your stepfather is somewhere in the castle, so we're going to get married right now, without all the pomp and circumstance.
As long as you're here, I don't care.
Good answer. And as soon as we're married, we're going to barricade ourselves in the royal treasury behind half a dozen locked doors with guards. That should keep you safe until he's found and thrown in a dungeon.
Sounds good to me.
Ready to get married then, Allie?
I was waiting on you, Princess.
Well then, if the two of you are finished flirting, we may proceed.
There will be time for flirting after the wedding.
And a time for jokes. Thank you, miss. Thank you very much. Today, friends, we are gathered to join these two young people in holy matrimony. Their way has not been easy. They've made it here together and wish now to be linked in marriage for the rest of their days. They wish to be bound in harmony and in strife, through vigor and in illness, through gloom and through light. If any present believe that this should not be the case, speak now or forever hold your peace. Then I shall proceed. Princess Kaylee Amara, daughter of the King Dennis and Queen Althea of the Northern Kingdoms, do you take this man as your lawfully wedded husband? And do you promise to stay by his side and to rule with him as long as you both shall live?
I do.
And do you, Prince Alabaster-White, son of King Andrew and Queen Tara of the Kingdom of Evernsay, take this woman to be your wife, and do you promise to stay by her side, to love and to cherish her all of your many days, to rule together in sickness?
Alabaster!
Leave. You have no power here. This is not your kingdom.
And the witches have placed wards on us. Your magic can't affect us.
It will have to be the old-fashioned way. Alabaster, I have been trying very hard to kill you for quite some time now, and I'm not leaving without finishing the job.
I never did anything to you. My mother and I welcomed you into our home, into our family, and this is how you repay her memory.
Don't bring your mother into this, boy. This has nothing to do with Tara.
You're not worthy to say her name.
Shut up! And stand aside, girl, unless you'd like to die with him.
If you want to hurt Alabaster again, you're going to have to go through me first.
And she won't be alone.
But your way, then.
Did you see that? That fight scene was wow. Oh, blackout, huh? For the G rating. Okay, I'll summarize. All right, so Kaylee and the Huntress were like, "Hi-ya, take that," and then swoosh, and the king was like, "A bunch of girls aren't gonna defeat me." Roof, 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 roof. And then Kaylee was like, "Ah, no, the patriarchy!" And then the king was like, "Alabaster, I am your stepfather!" Oh! You should have been watching your back, King. There was a surprise attack from the Huntress while you gloat. Kaylee flanking from the other side. Girl power! Banter, fight, fight. Leave my husband alone! You get the picture. It was awesome! Oh, thank you. Thank you. Long story short, the king was no longer a threat, and once again he had failed for underestimating Kaylee and the huntswoman Juniper. Kaylee and Alabaster were married by the priest shortly after. Once the princess had the opportunity to recover and her Parents had talked her back into the pomp and circumstance ceremony in the grand hall. The two of them attended a lavish reception to the wedding that night, but neither was much for celebrating and socializing after the day's gruesome events. Mostly they kept to themselves, just relieved to have each other. They knew that they would very soon have to return to Alabaster's kingdom, now their kingdom, to try to sort out the tangle of political upheavals and the stories that the king had spread, fake news and all that. The two of them would have to be coronated, and the business of running the country and rebuilding their lives. But for one night, they decided to just be two kids in love, enjoying each other.
Queen Kaylee, first of her name. You know, it does have a nice ring to it.
I always thought it would. But King Alabaster-White. Clunky. There's nothing to be done about it, though, I suppose.
I could just sign things as King Alabaster.
Just King Alabaster. That's better.
Glad you approve, Your Majesty.
You may call me Kay, my king.
Kay, you may call me whatever you like.
Dear husband, Allie.
That will do, but not around the dignitaries.
Fair enough.
And they were very happy together, of course. Once everything was straightened out, the two of them were excellent rulers for many, many years before handing the care of their kingdom over to their oldest child, a daughter. The huntress returned with Kaylee and Alabaster to the castle and their personal guard and confidant. The other witches returned to their cottage and their magic and their solitude in the forest. And they were all very happy in the places they'd chosen. Though Juniper kept her vow to visit, and the others often checked in on the boy they'd come to regard as one of their own. In short, everyone lived happily ever after. That's the way of all fairy tales. And while the tale of Alabaster-White and his daring Princess Kaylee is different in many respects from most such stories, it still has a happy ending for our heroes. I hope you enjoyed their story, and well, maybe even learned something from them. After all, we all could use a little more happily ever after. The end.
All right, everyone. Please join us in giving a big congratulations to our hardworking and brilliantly talented cast. First up, we have Michaela Couch as Sorrel.
Next up, we have Sophia Britt as Cypress.
We have Murren Marchik as Rowan.
B. Brewer as Aspen.
Jesse Hendricks as Willow.
Bonitz as Laurel.
Jordan Burnell as the Huntress.
Benjamin Gray as the King.
Sarah Mayhew as Princess Kaylee.
Stanley as Alabaster-White.
And Kim Sassone as the narrator.
All right, can we get everyone on for a bow? Yay, thank you all so much. All right, awesome. Thank you to everyone who attended tonight's virtual performance. We really hope that you enjoyed it, and we hope that you come back for next time.
Whether that is in person or another virtual show, we don't know, but we know it's going to be good.
Thank you.
Have a great night. Thank you all so much.